What's good, everybody? This is your boy Kyle.
What's up? I'm Joy.
You know, in this episode, we are talking about the transition from being single to married. BirdCast.
Let's go.
We are talking about the transition from being single to married. And my beautiful wife, aka Stat Queen.
Stat Queen.
She's going to give us a beautiful stat involving this subject. Really?
So, relationship expert Toni Ann Craft believes that marriage forces two self-sufficient people with diverse life experiences to think, live, and grow together unselfishly. What do you think about that?
I personally believe that stat is very true, because when you have someone that has known one process one way for 30 plus years, or however long they decide to be, or however long they have done their process, and jam them with another person that has been doing the same process for just as long, that's going to be a hard transition, because you're used to one way. You're used to having your things a certain way. If there's a certain way that she cleans and I have my own way of cleaning, it's going to clash. As long as it's clean, that's fine. But if there's a process of doing that, it can be not a conflict, but it can be different. Just learning somebody else's process.
Anytime transition is involved, it's going to be uncomfortable, you know?
True.
Because when you're growing and you're forced to change how you've done something for years, it's going to be uncomfortable for you. It's going to be hard. But one thing I do know is that great things don't come from comfort zones. So if we stayed, and did things exactly how we did them, would we still be the people that we are today?
In life, you have so many different transitions. Like when we first met each other, we were 12. You know what I'm saying? We was at the King and Queen, whatever that thing was, pageant at our church.
Was it a pageant?
I think it was a pageant. I don't know what it was.
It was like a talent show.
Yeah,
right?
It was a talent show that I don't understand the concept of it even to this day. We were 12.
Right.
And so from 12 to the age of 20, just that simple time span, we went through the rest of middle school. We went through the rest of high school.
Yeah.
So now we're in college at the age of 20. We've already set certain processes up for ourselves during that small 8-year window. Now you go from 20 to 29. When we get married, it's a whole new process.
Right. And
so we have we've taken different processes and tweaked them from the 12 to 8 or from the 12 to 20 age to the 20 to 29 age. And now we married.
Right. So we're transitioning in our own lives separately.
Yes.
Trying to figure out how to transition
with
together.
Somebody else. Yes.
That's something to do.
Something, man. And that is different.
Yeah.
I said I met my wife when I was 12. I married my wife when I was 29. And now we're almost 4 years in. But I honestly didn't meet my wife until 2 years after we got married.
Right.
Because there were so many different things that I did not know about you.
Right.
And when we got married, we had to really start pulling layers back.
Right.
And we have to understand what I mean by I'm sleepy, and then what you mean by I'm sleepy.
Right.
My sleepy might be different than your sleepy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was a ever learning process. And I think that was one of the main things that I would say, would have made our transition a lot easier was the different communication. And, just like, people say you can say what's up so many different ways, but there's so many different meanings behind it.
Yeah.
So same thing. I think communication and understanding you even more now than I did when we first got married, and that would have made the transition easier. As a man, being a husband, I am now also responsible for my wife. So there's things that I could want to do, but because I have responsibility, I might not be able to do it as much. I still go out and have fun, but I might not be able to do it as much because I have a responsibility to take care of my wife and my queen.
Not being so independent, not just, making decisions without really, because when you're single, if it's something you want to do, you just do it. You don't really have to consult with anybody. I want to go buy something, I want to buy it. And I think for me, I like to shop. Okay, so realizing that it's not just my own finances anymore. I have responsibilities and things that I need to do.
Yeah, man.
So I can't just go on a shopping spree whenever I want to go on a shopping spree. Now, when we become millionaires, that's a whole nother situation. I'm going to be a housewife. No, I'm just joking. But that was the biggest thing for me. It's just...
Shit, I'm not to be a housewife.
We are individually and collectively still works in progress. But we're finding new ways to give each other space when it's needed, forgiveness when we mess up, and patience when dealing with shortcomings.
That's so poetic.
I think that's my biggest advice. You're forever going to be a work in progress.
Yeah.
But just realize that while you're working on yourself, your partner's working on themselves, and then collectively you're working on each other, on becoming one. So don't get frustrated with the process. I say embrace it. Embrace the transition, embrace the journey. And it really is like once we really got on the same page with each other, man, like it's one of the greatest things. It's really hard to describe, but if you're willing to put in the work, it's amazing, really.
Absolutely.